PCC is putting on this program for those of you who are in the criminal justice program and those of you who are in the fire science program. So, to let you know, this is the intro. This is me, Bob Olsen, okay? I'm going to just give you a fast overview, all right? And then we're going to have people talking about the job search, the application, the testing processes, and then I'll be back at the end of the day, about 4 hours from now, about oral interviews, okay? So, what I want to tell you is, I've been in the fire service over 20 years. Technology has changed tremendously. What hasn't changed is the hiring process, really, okay? You still have the job application, and it may be online and digital instead of the old handwritten ones, but it still asks the same questions, okay? You still have the testing process. You still have the interview process. You have searching for the job to start with, right? None of those things have changed, okay? So now you're here. Some of you just started your program. Some of you are getting close to getting your degrees in fire science, criminal justice. The big step now is going to be finding the job, right? That's what PCC has decided to help you with today. They put this program together. And you see, you probably recognize some of these names because some of them are instructors in your programs, okay? I'll tell you a little bit about myself real quick, save us some time when we start oral interviews. I was in the service for 9 years, the Navy and the Coast Guard. And in the Coast Guard, I did a lot of law enforcement. I got out, I was a police officer in a town called Mountain View, California, down by San Jose, Stanford University, Palo Alto area. I left there and I went to the Drug Enforcement Administration. As a special agent, I went back to the academy, back at the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia. Then I was assigned to the San Francisco Field Division. It got so expensive to live down there that my wife and I decided we couldn't cut it financially, couldn't cut it down. It was just too expensive. So we decided to move up to the Portland area. We both had family. I have family up in Washington State. She has family right here in the Portland area, even in Portland area. I came up and I applied for both fields, both police and fire. Fire offered me the first job. I was offered a job with Clark County Fire District 6, just north of Vancouver here. I started working there, and I've been working there ever since. Okay. I'm getting ready to retire. I'll retire later this year. I'm a captain. I've been a training officer. So I've got a wealth of information and experience. I've been involved in the hiring process. I've helped people in the hiring process. I've been involved in the testing process, all that sort of thing. And you will too. Eventually, you'll have those opportunities once you get into the field. Either the fire department, police department, whichever one you're going to go into, you'll have an opportunity to help others too. All right? But what we're going to try to do today is help you get from the academic world, where you're going to have a degree in fire science or criminal justice, and get you into a place where they're going to pay you to do that. And I will tell you, in my personal opinion, you've made an awesome choice. Okay? Whether it's police officer or firefighter, it's a great job. Okay? They're different, and you will find that police officers will call firefighters hose draggers, and firefighters will call police officers all kinds of names. Who knows? Okay? Police officers are jealous of the schedule. Firefighters sometimes are jealous of the fact police officers carry guns. But at the end of the day, you're going to find out you're going to work extremely closely together. Many, matter of fact, now it's 75 to 80% of all fire department calls, emergency calls, are medically related. And in a large number of those, the police are going to be involved. It may be a car accident. It may be a drunk passed out somewhere. It may be a domestic violence situation. It could be a death. All of those, you're going to have the police there. Okay? So you're going to be happy the police officers there. You're going to be happy that group in here that are future police officers become police officers. Police officers are going to be the same way. You're going to be happy that when you go investigate that accident, there's somebody severely injured, the fire department's there to take care of that. Or someone's having a heart attack, or you've maced someone or tasered someone, the fire department can clear them medically so you don't have to take them to the hospital and spend half your shift waiting for them to be medically cleared. So understand that there's a good-natured competition between the two practices, the fire service and the police departments. But believe me, you're going to work closely together, and you're going to appreciate each other, and there's going to be quite the bond built there. But before you can do any of that, you gotta get a job. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to help you do that. So, you're going to be talked at and to by a couple different people on the job search. How do you even find who's hiring? And how do you decide whether that department is what you want to work at? There are small fire departments and small police departments of just a half a dozen people, and then there are major police and fire departments. City of Portland Fire Bureau, over 1,000 firefighters, or the City of Portland Police Bureau, 1,200 police officers. So everything in between is what you're going to be exposed to. Small town police officer, small town firefighter does not do as much as a big city firefighter or big city police officer. But they also don't have the burdens. They also don't have some of the stressors, that kind of thing. But these folks today are going to talk to you about not just finding a job, but finding the job that you really want to do. They're going to answer any of your questions, all that kind of stuff. Then we come to the application. A lot of people mess up on the application, and these folks are going to talk to you about the application process. You can lose your job based just on the application, right? You don't answer the questions, you don't answer or provide everything you want, the documents, whatever. You don't get it in on time, you don't fill it out in black ink like it said in the fine print, whatever. They're going to talk all about the application process, because you cannot get the job without being successful at filling out this application. Now, you fill out the application, you meet all the requirements, you turn in the paperwork, it's turned in on time. Testing comes next. There's two kinds of testing normally. There's a written test of some form, and this is for fire or police. There's a written test, and then there's a physical agility test. It's different for police than it is for firefighters. Firefighters, the physical agility test is kind of a strength test and an endurance test. You'll be dragging hose, you'll be dragging a dummy, you may be raising ladders, that sort of thing. Okay? But they're going to give you a brief overview of the physical side. The police side, a lot of it has to do with speed. You may have to run a mile and a half in a certain amount of time. You may have to run an obstacle course, that kind of thing. But you're going to get a general overview of the physical part of it. And also talk about the written test, because there's lots of books out there, there's lots of resources for you to find out what's going to be on that test. Okay? And then the last thing, in both the hiring process and in our session today, is going to be oral interviews. I will talk to you about that. I've been on oral interview panels. I've gone through them, obviously. You do an oral interview for every job. So I'm going to talk to you about that. Okay? We're going to talk about what to wear, when to show up, how to answer some questions, the questions that are always there. Okay? There are certain questions that I don't care whether you're testing police or fire, big city, small town, it doesn't matter. There are certain questions they're going to ask you. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some ideas on how to figure out how to properly answer it. Now, none of this is designed to allow you to cut corners or beat the system. Okay? This is simply designed to let you know what you're up against and give you some hints on how best to prepare. Okay? So, that's the program for today. These are the folks that are going to be talking to you about it. We are going to try to give you all the information we can. We want you to be successful, just like your instructors in this course, just like your future employers. Everyone wants you to be successful, but it's very competitive. And so, Portland Community College, where you are getting your degree through their Career Center, has put this together. Because PCC's interest is making sure that the people that put the effort into this program go on to successful careers. That's why they've sponsored this program. That's why we're putting it on today. Okay? There was one question I was asked before I came in. I better answer right now because it's important to the fire side of this group. Whoever you are, who's the fire people in here? Okay. Question is this. Is it necessary to grow an awesome mustache to be a firefighter? Put it this way. No, not necessarily, but you go to a firehouse, you'll find out lots of people have mustaches. Now, you may not be able to grow one, and that's fine. Took me 22 years to grow this one. All right? Don't be afraid just because you're the only clean-faced person in there. It probably won't matter. Okay? The reality is it doesn't matter. What matters is you find a job, you do the right application, you succeed in the testing, and just blow them away on the oral interview. Okay? That's what we're going to help you with today. Okay. I'm going to step down now, and we're going to get right into it with the job search. Does anybody have any questions for me before we go? Okay. As the day goes on, if you think of questions, be sure to ask them. Take good notes. This is all valuable information. This is information that's not available to everybody because not everybody's in your situation, okay? So, take notes, ask questions, and I think that's good. Thank you very much. All right, let's get, I'm not sure who's going to do the job search, but that's going to be the next thing. So get your pens and paper out, and let's get ready and start thinking of those questions. Ask any questions, all right? Like they say, the only dumb question is questions never asked. All right, thank you, and I will see you in just a couple hours.